clavier analogique à système numérique. Je t'écris un poème pour te dire que je t'aime. Depuis mon digital jusqu'à ton terminal, je t'envoie des paroles programmées en COBOL. Messages électroniques transmis par fibre optique. Je viens te dire bonjour pour te parler d'amour. Réponse télégraphique programmée en basique. Ok, message reçu. Je pense bien à toi. Salut.
So we are with Stefan Wilkes, the artist of these beautiful donkeys. So could you introduce a bit about this original project exposed here in Reims?
Well, hello, my name's Stephen. I'm the artist more or less responsible for the donkeys. The donkey project is actually something that started around 2000 in Berlin. I was invited as a DAD artist to Berlin, and then I started this project called the Traveling Donkeys. In fact, each of the donkeys are more or less vehicles, if you want, that travel across from house to house. So someone receives the donkey as a host and they pass it on to someone else. Each donkey has a sort of a pocket inside the belly which is filled up with letters and personal anecdotes and photos, and so each person is actually, or family or institution, are invited to receive the donkey and to do actually what they want with it and then pass it on to someone else. So I would say during the 10 or 20 years that this project's been going, there are donkeys pretty much all over the southern and northern hemispheres of the world. Some have been lost, some are... For example, there was a nice story of a green donkey that I sent to a journalist in Jordan. And at the time, I think it was the first Gulf War broke out. And apparently the donkey was confiscated by some form of secret police or something, I don't know. And it kind of disappeared for more or less 5 or 6 years. And then I received an email, because there's an email address often embroidered on the donkeys. and it was a dance group in Egypt. And this donkey had somehow got from Jordan to Egypt on its
Oh,
own
you made a long way.
by the long way. And so afterwards, I was invited to travel to Morocco to pick it up. I was working there with the Beaux-Arts, the students there. And so we kind of found this donkey. And in Morocco, there were some students that we had this idea to sew rien à déclarer on the side of the donkey. And the idea was to travel across from North Africa back into Europe to cross the border.
And how many donkeys approximately circulate?
That's a very good question. I probably lost count, but I would say around 18.
Okay.
But as I
80
say,
brothers and sisters.
yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, 18 is also sort of it's like kind of this like life, you know. It's the it's great life. So some of them have actually disappeared. One in China I never heard of again. One in Mexico, sort of more or less. I don't know where it is, but that's part of the idea. And,
So the owners don't give news so regularly.
sometimes, for example, there's a donkey called L'Âne Bleu. He was actually acquired by the Frac Paca in Marseille, and they've been using it so much that they asked me to redo one because it got sort of worn out. It's been traveling through schools and hospitals and private people across the region in south of France. So that was a great success in that respect. In terms of success, I see that in terms of communication, how it's having an interaction with
like an object of communication.
Exactly, and an interaction.
Artwork of communication.
So what you see here are sort of pieces that will replace a great big roundabout carousel, which is actually in the collection of the Experience Pommery.
And maybe one last question. They are made of German fabric or...
No, actually, for example, the one in Japan was made from Japanese kazuri. It's a kind of working better. And some are, for example, we're actually initiating a donkey in Portugal right now. And so there's an artisan who makes her own fabric.
It depends on the sourcing then.
Yeah, so it depends where. I like to use cloth from where the donkey's going made.
And inside, what's inside?
Well, inside is like a bit, if you want the hard disk, the memory of the donkeys, because it's filled up with all the stories and letters.
Okay. So people have to touch
They
check.
Absolutely have to touch it. And what's quite fun is also the way the logistics, how they get from one place to another. And, so we're working on right now, it's installing GPS, a little GPS system into the
tracker.
A tracker, exactly. And so hopefully we can build up a site which is interactive.
Oh, that would be great.
I think that makes absolute sense. So what interested me actually in this respect was the physical and the virtual, how they can combine inside.
So let's keep updated about this.
Sure, I'd love to. Yeah. Very happy to do that.
Boba, thank you very much for the information.
You're welcome.
And see the donkeys in Reims, in Pommery, very soon.